I would like to introduce Silent University. Silent University is an education platform run by asylum seekers, refugees, basically anyone who's not recognized or undocumented, applying for humanitarian protection, but come with their academic qualification and knowledge from back in their countries, who had education and used to be an academic or had training and jobs and not able to practice their own knowledge and qualification.
Everybody have right to educate, not only to be educated. So asking this question, there are some words we need to pay attention. Urgency, continuity, demand with principles, and trust. So Silent University is an education platform by refugees, asylum seekers. They have academic qualification back in their countries and they arrive in new countries and they are unable to practice their own background, knowledge for years. And through the years of, as you described, limbo or waiting process, this knowledge is subject to disappear. So Silent University has several functions. Immediate recognition of academic knowledge, immediate activation of knowledge, and most importantly, immediate acknowledge of asylum seekers, refugees as academicians, equally as other academicians. So it's not easy to reach these demands, but since 3 years, since it's established in London, it didn't disappear. Even it extended beyond when it was established in UK. Now it's also in Sweden, it's in France, and many other countries. There are many other institutions and groups, active groups, wants to establish locally in their own countries. So what are the main limitations? Language is one of the main limitations. This adaptation process, one of the biggest danger. It can be long, like especially to get basic papers for undocumented people, as you have been waiting for 10 years now. It can be very, very long process. And what to do during that process? We don't wait. We establish ourselves as Silent University, or as we are here, Academy, and immediately activate this knowledge and share this knowledge. Of course, it comes with difficulties. Legal status or language are the main two difficulties. But this can be achieved through collaboration with other institutions. So what Silent University has been doing, collaborating 3 types of institutions: academies, community organizations, NGOs, and art institutions.
So what happens in Silent University, through this collective platform, everyone can perform in their own language, native language, in their own background, and on their own topics that they used to study and teach, and they have the knowledge of. They can prepare lectures and present to the public as it would be done by any other academic studies from a recognized Western university. So we do immediate acknowledgement of and recognition of knowledge, and the legal limitations are not the limitations of Silent University. So there is a legal acknowledgement of every single participant that is taking part in Silent University can practice and give lectures and can contribute and can consult in academic level that they inherit from their past lives. And how it works. So basically, it starts with a small group of people in many different cities. First, it started in London, and then it was expanded to Stockholm and Mülheim and Hamburg. And later, we also went out of European context, and it was also initiated for a while in Amman and also in Athens as well currently. So every branch that's very much locally initiated and locally facilitated in collaboration between art institutions and community organizations and academies who wants to get involved. So the number of institutions could be from 2, 3 to 20 or more. So the scale also can get bigger, but we usually start with small scale because we rather would like to think of a long-term commitment. And for long-term commitment, we keep the scale down and but have the initiative last as long as possible. What are the reactions and impact? Uh, well, even though this sounds like an informal school, um, or maybe at the beginning like an art project, it did become a small scale organization that can achieve certain things. Only by the acknowledgement and recognition of the members and participants of each other. So then you don't need to wait for authorities' recognition. As soon as many people start believing in and trusting to the concept that is collectively developed, it becomes recognized, so without the necessity of authorization. So, and through that, through existing other institutions, it's also possible to immediately act in very professional platforms, in very high academic level conferences, meetings, symposiums, or through the art institutions, or through the network of community organizations. So this is an idea that is, although it might sound very utopic at first, it is very much based on this practical idea of activating something seems not possible immediately, and that is very easy to achieve with collective recognition. So every participant basically empower themselves with the name of Silent University, becomes part of this international network, although the struggles are local. And in the countries where they have to immigrate, they are not recognized or they are not able to work officially and so on. So we find ways through the organizations how to acknowledge their intellectual heritage, and also it's a kind of utopian radical education model that is not based on a central language or a central type of education system, but it's basically celebrating all different kind of heritage of education and pedagogy that people bring with them when they become or they're forced to immigrate or they move from one place to another place, and the difficulty of having a common language becomes an interesting conceptual challenge. We try to find ways how people can listen a lecture that is presented in another language that they don't understand, instead of forcing the teacher first learn their language. which is usually the way it is when it comes to integration politics. Well, I don't act in this initiative as an artist, but everyone comes with, no matter who they are, comes with their own capacity. So, an artist has certain capacity, a politician has certain capacity, and social worker, an ordinary citizen or non-citizen, everyone come with their capacity, which has usually a great potential. So you don't need to be an artist to initiate something like that. It is only possible when other people believes and trust in concept and find it something urgent, so something being useful or something being aesthetically pleasing is not the priority, but maybe that is replaced with the idea of urgency. And urgency is a term that can work in every field. In very ordinary daily life, someone who is having a very ordinary job also can become very creative when it comes to urgency. When they stop thinking, when every single person actually stop thinking a problem is a person problem, but it's a problem that happens to many others at the same time, and that can be many ways to create a common platform and space to get together and deal with that singular looking problem in a collective manner. I'm limited to my own capacity, but the moment I start collaborating with other people from other fields, other professions, this becomes the limit becomes the sky. So sky is the limit in that case. So at first things can look like much beyond our own, physical and mental and other capacities that as a single person we can afford, but it can go much beyond when it comes to teamwork, collaboration, and that is when that is connected to urgency. Advantages, yeah. Well, as I say, limited, but this limit comes with sometimes very specific possibilities. So when you're an artist, you're often connected to art world, and art world. In the art world, we work with ideas, and you can often dream of anything, and of course, not always possible to realize what you dream of. You can dream of like an ideal society or a very ideal daily life, or something beyond what we can actually practice in the idea of existing divisions in governing. So you can imagine completely another way of governing. You can imagine completely another way of non-hierarchical system of living. So it's really up to imagination at first. So we should not limit our imagination with other difficulties that it will anyway come as a second step. But start with that and then push it as far as we can. But when we do this together, you can bring it to a level that